everybody, I'm Charlie. I'm a sophomore studying math and electrical engineering at Stanford, and I'm so excited to be a part of the festival this year. I first joined Agora Math Circle by taking the senior advanced class when I was a freshman in high school. I saw a flyer for it in one of my classes, and I decided to show up. I'm so glad I did, because the 3 years after I took that class were really amazing. I got to be a volunteer with the Agora Math Circle and teach the senior advanced class as well as the senior intermediate class, and serve as senior vice president. The Agora Math Circle has always been such a warm and welcoming community, and I'm so lucky to have found it while I was a high schooler. That said, I'm really excited that you guys are all a part of it now, and I'd like to give you guys a few reflections and pieces of advice. It's really hard to understand while you're in high school, but high school math is a lot different than math in college. A lot of people think that it stays the same but just sort of ramps up and gets harder, but that's not exactly what happens. Instead, there's more of a shift. And it goes from rote, formulaic memorization that is often taught in high school classrooms to creative and mathematical thinking that your professors are going to want from you in college. Coming into the math program at Stanford, or at any school, it can be easy to feel unprepared, especially because you sort of haven't had that same kind of math education before getting to college. And when I look at my peers who were successful in the math program, a lot of them either took college classes before coming to Stanford or had some other kind of supplementary education. I took a couple of community college classes before I got here, but nothing super advanced. But I still found myself really prepared for this kind of academic environment, and I'll tell you why. The peer-to-peer and problem-oriented education that the Agora Math Circle provides really helps you get a head start on the kind of mathematical thinking that you need to succeed in STEM programs at a higher level really early on. And I had an amazing time as a student, but the learning didn't stop there. Because even when you're teaching a class, if you're teaching your peers, you're always learning from them. Figuring out what the best way to explain a concept is will help you have a deep, fundamental understanding of what that concept actually is. The first YouTube video I ever made for the Agora Math Circle was on exponents and logarithms. And even though I'd learned those concepts several times before, both in classrooms and at the Agora Math Circle, I learned so much more making that video, figuring out how to present the concepts. Short of actually attending college and going to college level classes, I think this is the best way you can prepare yourself for that kind of curriculum. I think it did a lot more for me than I knew. I thought I was volunteering, I thought I was just giving back to my community, but really I was preparing myself for the education that I'm getting now, and I'm really glad that I did. With all that said, I'd like to thank the Agora Math Circle one more time for letting me be a part of this community. I'm so glad to still be a part of it, and I'd like to turn it over to my friends now, who will have a little bit of advice for you guys.
I really love how STEM allows me to be creative and empowers me to conquer any problem in my path. My phone case was falling apart, so the other night, I designed a new phone case and I woke up to this. And I have many similar stories, such as this support for my plant that was falling over, and also this MacroPad keyboard. I just love making things that help me out day to day.
The best way to be good at math is to love it, and the best way to love it is to connect it to things you care about. Sometimes it's easy for things to feel too theoretical. But if you put in effort into understanding what these concepts mean in the real world, then learning can be really meaningful.
If I could give you any piece of advice, it would be to focus on taking initiative. Sometimes it's easy to forget that there are more opportunities than what's laid out in front of you. If you have an interest you want to pursue, you can make that happen, and colleges will love to see that as well.
You've got your standardized test scores, you've got your top GPA, and you've got your boilerplate extracurriculars done. This is you taking a shot at the college admissions time. Completely and totally random. Now, nothing you do can guarantee a good outcome. But what you can do is take a strategic approach to increase the probability of success. Understand what it takes to be a college admissions officer looking through each and every of those tens of thousands of admissions files, and how your narrative is compelling enough to push you over the edge. That interest, that passion, how can you demonstrate that on paper and on your activities list? Getting an admissions officer excited about math is difficult, but getting them excited about wanting to build community and contribute to the people around you in a meaningful way is a great way to get that point across. And the Gura Math Circle is the perfect way to do it.